Okay, everybody. Well, I went into surgery today, and I got here at 8 o'clock, got all checked in, blood work done, which was great. Blood pressure really high because of all the pain that I've been suffering through. But I went into surgery at 11 o'clock, and I came out at 2:20. So my surgery was, you said 2 hours and 20 minutes, John.
Yes.
That's 3 hours if I went in at 11. So I must have gone in at 12 and come out at 2:20.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, so my surgery was 2 hours and 20 minutes. Dr. Cochran did an amazing job. I do have a little raspy throat because of the swelling that's here. The incision you can't see because obviously he's got it all covered up. I'm not sure when I'll be able to take it off. Maybe I'll be able to take it off and change the dressing tomorrow before I go home.
Nope.
48 hours I'm going to keep it on probably.
It's going to be a day or two.
It's going to be a couple of days, John says, before I'll be able to take it off. See, all that wonderful anesthesia. I don't remember any of those instructions and that part of it, so he'll refresh me tomorrow. But I do remember him coming out. I had an excruciating headache. They had to take care of that part of it, but the pain medication worked really quickly to resolve that. And I am able to swallow. I actually ate several things, soft items, but but good swallowing mechanisms. My breathing's okay. I'm not having any swelling in my trachea that I can tell. So decided just overnight for better pain management control, like I had mentioned before. And the site is not all that tender at this point. It's very, very mild. I've had a couple of rounds I had some tramadol, and then they just now gave me a little Norco to help with the pain. This shoulder, all the spasms down my shoulder, neck, arm, completely gone. I have no more. I actually don't have any pain in this left shoulder. I can feel it in my right shoulder, which has probably been hurting this whole time, and I've been hurting so much on the left side that I haven't noticed the pain that I probably had underlying on the right-hand side, just my natural pain that I typically have. So anyway, no more pain on this side. Came out from under anesthesia okay. Didn't have any complications. And I told him no Foley catheter, which he agreed to. Thank God. I wrote on my mattress, on my sheet, and on my pad that was underneath me, small, please remember small incision. So I don't know what size the incision is. I was just joking with him. He's got a good sense of humor. Very nice doctor. Got good bedside manner. All of the staff from the very beginning to the very end of coming back to the room has had nothing but positive things to say about this man. That it's just everything has been positive that's come out of their mouths. And typically you can tell when somebody has a little bit of hesitation about a doctor, but they have really, really hyped him up and speaking very, very highly of him. So I'm happy about that part of it. All the nurses and the staff has been fantastic here. I'm sure write good reviews to administration on all of these people and tell them how great they have been. My experience is it's good. It's been very, very good. I've nothing but positive to say. It looks like tomorrow morning he rounds maybe early, maybe 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there before 8. And I'll be discharged from the hospital from what my understanding is over the next couple of days. The swelling is expected to get a little bit worse just with time, but I just have to monitor over that, take medications for it, and monitor it closely. So far, so good. I got up within, how long of getting back to the room did I get up? I got up and walked around really quickly. Once I got back into the room and said, I basically just disconnected everything and told them I wanted to walk. They were like, nobody's ever walked this fast before. So I walked. I'm a boss. Just kidding. Maybe the pain medication was so good that I was able to do it. I don't know. Anyway, that went well. Walked around on all the wings on this particular floor, came back, and pain was still very much manageable, under control. I was able to eat two different things and some soft stuff and drink fluids, all okay. So I'm staying well hydrated. Still have my IV in, and they're going to keep that for IV hydration overnight. And that's about it so far. I'm looking forward to seeing what the incision looks like. Is there anything else, babe, that I'm forgetting to say? I think that's it.
You still have full mobility.
I still have what?
Full mobility.
I still have full mobility in my neck. I'm just a little sore from, they have to strap you in place back there and all of that. So they have contraptions on you. So there's a little bit of tenderness from that part of it, but nothing. I mean, I can move my neck right and left. The restriction is mostly because the dressing is so tight. I don't want to bust it open. I don't want it to open up because it does have perforations in here, so I don't want to open it up. But I can literally, if I wanted to, I could put my neck back. I definitely can put it forward and right to the left, and I could tilt my head to the right and the left, shrug shoulders, all of that. My sensation in my fingers and my arm greatly improved. I still have very, very little numbness in my just my fingertips, but the hand is back to normal. I have no problems with that. I feel like I could be a little bit stronger in my forearm now versus the last week. What else, babe?
Did you tell them what you had done?
Yes, I told them that I had an anterior cervical discectomy and fusion between C4 and C7. So they took the disc out between C4 and C5, C5 and C6, and C6 and C7. They took those 3 discs out and then replaced them. Did they replace it with titanium?
They put spacers.
They put spacers in, which I talked about.
And then
titanium spacers, and then what?
Plate and screws.
And then plate and screws to hold the actual, to fuse the disc, the vertebrae together, not the disc, the vertebrae together so that they can fuse and heal, like I talked about last night. So the process was good. And I actually asked him to take pictures. I said, I want to see the disc. I mean, morbid curiosity or whatever, medical curiosity. I don't know. I want to see what's inside of my body because I've never seen, I've seen a disc in pictures and whatnot, but I wanted to see mine. So he said that he could actually record the procedure. So hopefully he did, and maybe he'll give me permission. I mean, it's my body, right? Maybe he'll give me permission to post it on YouTube, and I can post that, and people can see how great of a job that he did, and then people can come to him whenever they have issues like this, and they can have the same experience that I have. Because I tell you, if I would have been able to see it be done to someone else, and I saw their experience, it would definitely alleviate a lot of things that run through your mind. You almost don't want to do it. It would just make me feel more comfortable for sure in the process.
Here's one of the images you can hold up there.
John has things I don't even have. This is one of the images of my disc. Let me see if I can get it. You can see the screws and the top right there. That's a screw that's going across. That's a spacer where my disc was. And then there's another screw here. And then there's another spacer that's there that is where my disc was. And then there's another screw there. And now beyond that, there's more. There's 3. I told you there's 3 discs that was removed. So 3 of the spacers have to be there. But this is my shoulder, and it was elevated, so you can't see below into the spinous process there. But there is another spacer and another screw or bolt, a screw that goes below that part of it. And then along the edge of the vertebrae, it is that's where these plates are holding the actual vertebrae, the bone, together from here to here. That's what's holding the vertebrae together and keeps the spacer in the inside of that.
He said you had good bones, so don't have to worry about the screws.
He said I have good bones, so I don't have to worry about it breaking like a person who goes through menopause can have osteoporosis, issues with their bone, mineralization of their bone or weak bones. But I didn't have any of that, so I don't have to worry about there being any breaking or hopefully any degeneration and further surgeries that will require him to go back and do some sort of repair or removal or posterior fixation, like I mentioned last night on my video. So hopefully this is it. Hopefully this is it.
Those are the 3 discs with the arrows in it.
He did draw for John. Oh, you did it? Okay, so this is the 3.
You can see the indentions where the white is missing. That's where it is restricting the spinal, the fluid traveling from the spinal cord all the way up to the brain.
So the black is actually your spinal cord. And on the outside of that, this white part is where your cerebrospinal fluid is. It's the layer, there's fluid that actually runs through there and cushions your vertebrae and supplies it with nutrients and whatnot. And you can see that this part down here is what it's supposed to look like. This is normal. You can see on the right and the left side of the spinal cord, the flow is really good. And these are your vertebrae. And in between these black spaces here, that's actually your disc, the cushion. So the white is the bone, the vertebrae, and the black is where the cushion is. So if you go up this vertebrae here, you can see the cushion. John's drawn the red line that shows where the cushion actually is. And you can see that there's an indentation. It's actually compressing against my spinal cord. And this compression was what was causing me to have the spasms and the numbness and tingling. If you compress this off, you lose all sensation. I was compressed in pretty good. Not as bad as it could have been, but that's a pretty large compression there that I lost the flow of that cerebral spinal fluid flowing through there. And then also you can see it up here. It looked like it almost looks like it broke through. I mean, it looked like maybe, look, there's a...
It didn't, but...
I guess it was actually compressing so much that it was pushing against the area where the cerebrospinal fluid was flowing, and it was actually compressing on the nerve itself there. You can tell that. So these are the 3 that he took care of. It was a very narrowed right here. See how the narrowing process, it was just very narrowed. And when you have that, you're going to have these issues. So he's probably got some views after, that I'm sure he took to show how the flow is now corrected. Usually they do take before and after shots. So I'll see if I can get that part as well. And if he will allow and he's okay, I'll actually post the video of, thanks babe, I'll actually post the video of the actual surgery, which is going to be, informative. Maybe you want to watch that, maybe you don't. If you're going through something like this, I don't know if it'll scare you or not, but at least you know that, look, I mean, I feel better than I have in a very, very long time. This is the first time I've not had pain in my trapezius muscles in my back on this left-hand side, the spine, down the spine, down the arm. And like I said, for 5 or 6 days, constant, steady tetanus, like the motion of a tetanus, the spasms that was going on was so intense. I was in a lot of pain. You guys probably seen that from my last video. I was exhausted. I was fatigued. I hadn't slept good. As a matter of fact, last night, I think I slept 2 hours before I got up and came in to have this surgery. But I did get my hair curled, and I did put a little makeup on, and I did put some, I wanted to go in looking good, psychologically preparing myself to feel good whenever it was all over. And I still have my voice, like I said. I think it sounds pretty normal. I'm not going to be singing for you today, probably not ever. But John always says I sound like an angel, so who cares? He's been my rock and my support. He's going to be with me through the night. He's right over there. Say hi, baby.
Hey, baby.
And I'll keep updating you. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody who's been very stressed about this and considering it or not considering it, or on the fence about what you should do. And who should you go to if you're in the Houston area? Because I can tell you, hands down, Joseph Cochran is the one that I would go to again. Let's see what all this looks like tomorrow and how seamstress work is. And how I am from this point forward is also going to be very important. But he's got very, very good bedside manner, and he's very confident about his work, which is, it's important. You want somebody who is not overly cocky, because I don't like that, but you do want somebody who has confidence in themselves, and they're not scared to do something, and they don't hesitate when something needs to be done, especially if it's some sort of emergency plan out in the operating room. You want them to have that confidence that they can take care of it, and I felt very confident with him, and I think John did too. Yep. So I'll keep updating y'all. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, you can post it in below, and I'll share what I can. Y'all take care and have a good night. I feel so much better. Thank you for everybody who has been praying for me, by the way. It's a whole slew of people at the hospital. Everybody at the hospital: Faith, Angie, Stacy, Prasad, Said, Cindy, Samara, Harald, Joe, the whole cath lab, Liz, Jonathan. I mean, just everybody. If I listed everybody, Dr. Sambal actually came up here to see me and give me a hug. He brought us some soup. It's just fantastic, man. And thank you all for your continued prayers. I need that because the next week or two is going to be intense with physical therapy and dealing with the swelling or whatever else that I might encounter, which I'll put on a video and keep you all posted. Thanks so much. Bye.